Yo, 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 yo. Welcome back to another episode of hdsportspod podcast. I am your host, Dwayne Hewitt. I'm here with my guys, Chubbs and Smook. This week we'll be talking the return of Tua. Turn the ball maybe over. Also talk about was it good Dolphins or bad Kenny Pickett. Brady and Rodgers lose again. CMC traded to the 49ers, and can it just continue to win just like this? All right, guys. Episode, this is going to be one of our shorter episodes, but before we get started, a few house cleaning things. Make sure you guys are following us on TikTok at House of Ida Sports Podcast, subscribing on the YouTube page. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that comment button, and, turn us up on YouTube, man. Dropping more and more content. I know I was working on some clips. D.O. was working on some clips over the weekend, so appreciate everybody that's been supporting us each and every week. Y'all know where to find us on Twitter, hdsportspod, and FTO Entertainment on Instagram and Facebook. Another huge milestone I want to acknowledge before we go ahead and start this episode is last week on Monday, we actually did our 50th episode. So that was really exciting. 50 episodes down and so many more to go. Don't know where we're going to stop. Hopefully we never do. But before we get started, Chubbs and Smooth, y'all got anything I want to say to the people?
Not much going on today.
Watching this game, and of course, they decided not to start Zappy, so it makes sense as to why we're losing. So it's crazy.
No Zap music today. All right, guys, I do want to start off. Not Zap yet. I do want to start off this podcast with some news that dropped today. So Matt Ryan was benched. They said he was injured when it first came out, but it says that Jim Irsay said that this move was not temporary, that it will go on for the rest of the season. So it sounds like the Matt Ryan experiment is failing. Do you think they were right for giving up so early on the experiment, regardless of injury or not? What is everyone's thoughts?
No, I think Jim Irsay is having PTSD from last year, from the type of play a quarterback was doing. Like Carson wasn't playing that great, but he didn't win more games and had them in a chance for to make playoffs. Matt Ryan is in a trajectory where they're not going to make playoffs, and it's because of his play. It's a problem when you have Jonathan Taylor and your run game can't get going because people aren't really scared of your passing game. But I will give credit where credit's due. Because didn't he get hurt and then the boy came in and actually did all right? Ellinger. They made Paris Campbell look like a viable receiver going forward, and that's something I haven't said in like 3 to 4 years of Paris Campbell being in the league. So I think, honestly, I'm not surprised they weren't winning. Irsay looked at last year as a failure and a learning experience. It was like, I'm not going through this again. So, and they've been high on that guy, Sam Ellinger, for years. They've had other guys that have been playing ahead of them. So, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see going forward how this guy plays. But I just think Jim Irsay is tired of losing. He's like, if I'm going to lose, I might as well put in somebody new. But, I don't know.
I don't think Matt Ryan was the answer to begin with. I think the Colts were only in a conversation last year because of Jonathan Taylor. They never really had a great supporting cast. I wasn't really ever big on Michael Pittman Jr. T.Y. Hilton ain't played since God knows when. Y'all really not big on Zach Pascal, who they traded, so they really don't have any offensive weapons. And Matt Ryan, he hasn't been good in years, in my opinion. So trading for him, I do think that it was a terrible experiment. I think that they should have been, opting to look into getting a quarterback and building from that standpoint, not just trying to win now. Because that's what I think they were trying to do, have a veteran quarterback and Matt Ryan, and just compliment him with Jonathan Taylor. But I think it's kind of backfiring. And because Matt Ryan ain't been playing good at all. So yeah, I mean, I think it's time to scrap it and start over. And it might involve doing the same thing with the coach. So.
Situation. So Matt Ryan did beat the Chiefs this year. That's a comeback. Last year as well. I agree with the stance and the sentiment that they thought they had a win-now team. I never thought they had a win-now team. Never in my opinion. So I just think that's bad for their ownership, their GM, to look at this team and think it was a win-now team. But I can't blame Matt Ryan for what's been happening this far this season because you didn't get Matt Ryan this year to throw the ball as many times as he's been throwing it all year long. Like, he's thrown, like, a bunch of 300-yard plus games. Let me just see. In the week, I'm trying to get the breakdown of the weeks to actually figure out. But I know he's been throwing, like, 30-plus throws. Jonathan Taylor has been very disappointing thus far this season. This O-line has not been blocking. I think Frank Reich said it, that they failed Matt Ryan. And I agree with that. They failed Matt Ryan as much as Matt Ryan failed them, in my opinion. They didn't do anything to help him. Everybody knew Matt Ryan wasn't going to be a guy that came in right away this year and was going to be a stud of a quarterback. Like, we knew that wasn't going to happen. So for them to put together this team that poorly against him, for him, and thought that he was going to throw the ball and gunsling the ball around, like, 7 games, he has 297 attempts. Like, he didn't get Matt Ryan to throw the ball that many times. So that's over like 35 attempts a game. So Jonathan Taylor, that offensive line, they're the reason. But I think this team is going to be on a rebuild, or they're just going to. I think they can we're not going to do nothing this year, so we might as well just put Sam Ehlinger in there. I can guarantee Sam Ehlinger is not the QB1 of the future. They're hoping that he freaking sucks, and they could get in the Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, and other quarterback sweepstakes because they realize there's nothing for them to do this year. So, which is a smart move in my opinion.
Can I do a game break side note real quick?
Yeah.
It's Zappy hour. He's in that quarterback, just threw a touchdown. Let's go.
Well, they benched Mac Jones?
Yep. Zappy just threw a touchdown.
And what did I say last podcast? They were going to do that.
Yeah, and we all alluded to it.
Mac Jones
Chris alluded to it too. He said, yeah. Chris alluded to it too. He was saying, Bill Belichick not want to just, keep players in there if they ain't playing well. Like, if he ain't playing well, he gonna pull them. And I honestly, I think it should have started with Zappy starting this week. Because just throwing Mac Jones back in there is just going to mess up the rhythm.
So does he get traded this year?
So I don't think he gets traded, but I definitely don't think he's going to be our starting quarterback going forward.
Why would you think
he has to get traded?
He has to get traded. You cannot keep him on the roster going forward.
Who's going to
my
want
question
Mac Jones?
now: does Mac Jones end up on the Colts?
If they can get a deal for him, I don't think the Colts really have any, they're not going to trade a first-round draft pick. And they don't really have that many assets because they've been using these picks on people these recent years.
Yeah, they have. But they just got 2 third-round picks from the Commanders for Carson Wentz.
No, actually, I would say, in my eyes, my view is I don't think 2 third rounds should be traded for Mac Jones. I think he's worth more because of Sakai was drafted first-round pick. That being said, I can see Bill Belichick taking 2/3 or a third-round draft pick for him.
Wait, no, never mind. They're not going to do that. I was going to say, remember the team that originally won? It was the 49ers.
No, they
were hesitant about Trey Lance. Think about it. They were very hesitant about Trey Lance, right? And they were very rumored. Can we see a scenario where they trade Mac Jones and then they trade Trey Lance somewhere else?
No.
Can't see it?
I don't see it.
I don't know.
Mac Jones is going to end up on,
the Panthers.
They're going to be on the Panthers, He's going to end up on, like, the Packers, maybe.
My question now, would you take Mac Jones right now over C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young?
No.
No, bro.
Okay.
Mac Jones, like, there's no reason why you should be failing in the system that Bill Belichick
I don't know.
has.
And
Mac Jones is not as good as everybody thinks he is. And
But I'm gonna be
I just
honest
don't
with
think
you.
he's that good.
I know he went to Bama. But if you had to wait your fourth year, your senior year, to win the starting quarterback job, you probably shouldn't have been a first-round draft pick. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
I know he played well.
Bro.
Nah, I ain't hearing that.
That is fair. What you mean? Jalen Hurts
I'm not
lost his
hearing
spot.
I'm
Cam
not hearing
Newton was
I'm not
playing
hearing
behind
that.
Tim Tebow. He transferred and showed that he was a baller. So, you know what I'm saying? Bryce Young's been
I'm not
starting
hearing
for
that.
3 years.
He didn't have to wait behind great quarterbacks.
Okay.
I just think Mac Jones is
his
overhyped.
college career is so overhyped when he plays with the best players in college football around him.
Yeah, and you would think that he would be able to transfer that in the NFL playing under Bill Belichick and Josh.
I mean,
Daniels.
Greg McElroy didn't lose a single game playing with Bama, and was he a great
Yeah,
NFL
who else?
quarterback?
What's that other quarterback?
a bunch?
Yeah, it's
I
number
know
10.
AJ McCarron.
Yeah, AJ McCarron, yeah. McCarron. But no, I just think that's funny that he got benched and Mac Jones. Zappy threw a touchdown his first drive. It's funny, so.
It's over. His era is over.
So they just benched Mac Jones, not because he got hurt or anything.
He threw a pick, bro. Bruh, yes.
People throw picks all the time, bro. You can't say he threw a pick.
Bruh, Mac Jones throws picks all the time. Don't say people. Mac Jones throws picks all the time.
Kenny Pickett throws picks all the time.
But that's expected from Kenny Pickett. He's a rookie just trying to air the ball out. Mac Jones is an experienced Pro Bowl quarterback.
Who is he
And
airing the
just
ball?
not-
Don't give him Pro Bowl.
That's why I put it in quotes.
Don't say that.
I said
Don't say
Pro Bowl
that.
quarterback.
No.
No, you can't
Alternate.
compare that. Like Mac Jones.
Alternate. He was an alternate.
Alternate or not? You're
He's a Pro Bowl quarterback.
Ah, fuck it.
All right.
That don't mean
Let's
anything
go with-
anymore now.
It still does. It just don't.
Not
All
really.
Pro, not Pro Bowl.
Anyway, next, let's get to the next topic. So, Tua Tagovailoa return Sunday Night Football, and the Dolphins win versus the Pittsburgh Steelers 10-16. So, I got to ask you guys, was this good Dolphins or terrible Steelers?
I don't know. I guess you could say a little bit of both. I'll say this about Tua. I don't think he played terrible. I mean, for his return, he actually he threw some good passes. I actually like how he's playing with them. You guys did play better defense than I was expecting. I'll give you all that. I was expecting bigger plays downfield with these receivers that Miami has. But you guys kind of hemmed him in. I mean, Jalen Waddle had a pretty solid game. Tyreek Hill had a okay game. I'll tell you, you guys played better than I thought you were going to play overall. But I will say this: I think Mitch Trubisky should have been put in the game at one point. I don't know how you guys expect to win games when your quarterback is putting your team in terrible situations, being way too aggressive.
And that's the thing I want to get to.
Way too
Everybody
aggressive.
wanted to get rid of Mitch because he was not scoring. Well, newsflash, Kenny Pickett is not scoring and he's turning the ball over. So what was the point of putting Kenny in? If Kenny wasn't going to come in and gunsling the ball, I'll tell you what, he is airing it out. He's airing it out to the other team. I do think Tua played bad, though, because Tua should have threw 4 interceptions.
So is
Like
that why you're
dead
saying
interceptions.
just because he should have, or what I'm saying, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt, missing 2 games. People are probably antsy if he takes I'll let you know, when he scrambled, I was like, bro, why is this guy scrambling? Yo, stay in the pocket. I don't want you to see you get hit. Like, you know what I mean?
No, when he didn't, he could scramble, but when he didn't slide, I was like, yo, Tua don't give a fuck about it. Like,
Right. Yeah, I was like, yo, chill. I like it. But other than that, I mean, shit. I mean, for first game back,
Yeah.
he did all right.
Yeah, but I think I'm more
Made
analyzing
some
Kenny
big throws,
Pickett
though.
sucking. Kenny Pickett sucked, played terrible. You guys can want to blame Matt Canada all you want, but Matt Canada is not throwing 4 interceptions. I'll take away 1. Was it 4 or 3? 3. I think it was 3. I'll take away 1 because Chase Claypool, the worst 50-50 jump ball receiver in the game, at 6'4", 235 pounds, fell, which isn't nothing. But even though that was PI, but on that last play of the game, first of all, if you look at 1, he should have threw the pick to Holland because all you have to do is be patient. 3rd down, you got two downs to get it. Frymouth was open on the left side. He stared out Deontay Johnson pick. Next play. Next time, he was supposed to run that damn ball with a blocker in front of him, and he throws a damn interception. And that ball was nowhere near Deontay Johnson. Kenny Pickett sucks. I'm tired of the Steelers faithful want to protect him because he's a Pitt guy. He's this, that, and the third. I said it on draft night, and I'll say it again. He was not the answer. It was a waste of a draft pick. This was the Artie Burns draft pick on the offensive side. I don't think he will be good, and we're better off playing with a quarterback who I couldn't score but wouldn't turn the ball over, so at least we're always in the game. And this defense is always going to keep us in games. So, I have to tell you what, Mitchell just scored a game-winning drive. I'll tell you that.
All right, I might not agree with what I got to say about Tua, but it's a straight fact. Other than the Ravens game, Tua has thrown 1 touchdown in each of his appearances. I'm tired of people praising Tua for being a mediocre quarterback and having a defense in which it's elite on paper, but if you actually look at it, the Dolphins have not played a complete game all year. They've given up 40 points. They've given up 38 points in the games in which the defense played well. Like I said, Tua is on the only game that I can say that they played well on offense all game was against the Ravens because they put up that many points. However, the defense gave up 38 points. In the games that the defense didn't give up a lot of points, Tua literally has scored 1 touchdown, 1 offensive touchdown. So I think it's been
in the Bills game.
That is not that. No, he did not. He has 1 passing touchdown.
No, I got a rebuttal, but let's keep going.
Because he has 1 passing touchdown in each of those games, other than the Ravens. And saying that, I don't think I think the Steelers actually play up to the competition. The Steelers aren't a bad team at all. They've been playing down to the competition, but this past week, Tua had all of the weapons. He had Tyreek Hill. I mean, all right, he may be coming back from injury, but again, he has 2 of the fastest receivers. His defense gave up 10 points. And you're not going to sit up here and tell me that he can't put more points on the board. He only passed for 161 yards. That's not impressive with what you have. I've never said Tua wasn't good. However, I'm not about to sit up here and say that Tua and the Dolphins are that team. They just are getting by each time. Honestly, they just getting by each time they win. You can say he's a winner. By definition, he's a winner because he's been playing. He's won every game he started. But how much of that is contributed to his play?
I got a question for you. And this is not just for Tua. This is just let's talk about any quarterback in the league. I know we want to see the statistics. We want to see the touchdowns. But are we going to – not saying – do not even think it's just directed to Tua. But are we supposed to discredit a quarterback that moves the ball down the field – it has a run. Moves the ball down the field, has a running game, gets it in the red zone, and then they run the ball in for a score with a rushing touchdown. He doesn't get his stat. He doesn't get his touchdown. You're going to discredit a guy that, I'm just saying, any guy that consistently puts drives together and puts up yards, but just doesn't get his touchdowns, but they still put up points. You know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say?
I get what you're trying to say. However, if that was the case,
I'm saying Tua might have not had yards this game, but he's definitely had games where he's put up yards and people got in the end zone. He just didn't get the touchdown.
That's debatable.
I know for a fact.
Because when you look at people like Josh Allen, when you look at people like Patrick Mahomes, when you look at people like even Justin, hold on.
Those are crazy guys.
When you look at people like Justin Herbert, when you look at people like Joe Burrow, when you look at people like Kirk Cousins, those are people who actually put drives together, like you said, and score touchdowns and have the yardage to show for it, as well as not having the weapons that Tua has. At the same time, too,
who don't have the weapons Tua have? The people that you named besides,
bro. But I'm just saying,
like Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, Joe Mixon. Those are weapons.
So my point is this:
those are weapons.
First of all, Keenan Allen hasn't been playing.
All I was trying to get at, though,
I give you Joe Burrow, but again, this is a team in which we said their defense was an elite defense, right? Correct?
Yeah.
And if your defense is getting stops, allowing 10 points, 20 points, and your offense is just squeaking by with the weapons that Tua has, so like Chris, to your point, him being able to drive down the field, so why is that so much different than what we call like Russell Wilson? He's an average quarterback, right? He's an average quarterback.
He's
a game manager,
bro. But I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt because this weekend Lamar did the same thing, and no one's getting on Lamar for only passing for 160 yards. No passing touchdowns, but they got rushing touchdowns.
What Lamar can do. Does Lamar have Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill?
No, I get that.
And
Lamar
Chase
also
Edmonds?
has a big. Lamar also has a big.
Chase Edmonds like that.
Chase Edmonds has been balling, bro. Their run game has been producing.
Lamar also has running backs that are capable of scoring without him having to score through the air. Is all I'm trying to say is.
But
don't discredit him for not having touchdown stats when you can still ball without having touchdown stats.
Chris,
that's all I'm saying.
So to that point, Lamar, we was on Lamar's ass because what? He didn't have no receivers, yet he's still balling. Like he's still balling. So what's Tua's excuse for not having 6 touchdowns like he did against the Ravens? Or 5 or 3 or 3.
Hey,
2.
He doesn't want it when it's needed. Whatever is needed to win the game.
So he's a game manager. Okay, let's keep it at him being a game manager. Let's not say that Tua is an elite quarterback. Like, come on,
no one said Tua was elite, though.
No one's calling him elite. But let's get one thing straight. No one's calling him elite.
Credit for being mediocre.
No one's calling him elite.
All right, so why are we praising him for being mediocre? That's my question.
No,
why are we
my
praising
question
him
is,
for being mediocre?
Bro, you're saying, hold on, I got something wrong.
Exactly.
Hold on. You said nobody that's a game manager can be considered elite?
No, I didn't say that.
Russell Wilson, before he had his fall off, people consider him elite, and he's one of the biggest game managers in the league.
I consider Russell Wilson.
Drew Brees was an elite quarterback, game manager.
Look at the yardage. Look at the yardage.
Drew Brees was a game manager.
Why are we sitting up here acting like Russell Wilson? Bro, what are we talking about? Why are we sitting up here acting like Russell Wilson didn't throw for 4,000 yards? 4,000 yards, 5,000 yards,
He didn't throw anything down the field. He was digging and dumping. That's game managing.
5,000 yards is game managing. 4,000 yards is game managing. Chris, in the season, that's game managing.
So he was attacking consistently down the field.
His yardage speaks for itself. Yes, his yardage speaks for itself, Chris.
You can be elite and be a game
Those
manager.
are terrible examples.
No. You could be elite. Russell Wilson was a game manager and he was elite at one point.
I agree, but his stats also prove that he was elite. Like he was elite. I think he was elite.
Yeah.
We can agree to disagree, but his numbers were not 160 yards a game.
What makes you elite? What ranking makes you elite? He was top 5?
In that year, I wouldn't say that. But
no,
it was a lot of quarterbacks back then,
top
bro.
5, bro.
He probably was top 5. It was a lot of good quarterbacks in the league.
It was a moment he was able to lead comebacks.
It was half the season.
Okay, now this. He has a ring too.
As a game manager,
two Super Bowl appearances.
Game manager,
as game manager,
elite.
But then when he moved from that game manager position, and tried to become an elite quarterback and failed miserably.
Right.
If all I'm saying is if Tua can consistently put up
and be a game
250 a
manager.
game, bro, then I will put him in a top tier quarterback caliber, bro. Right now,
I'm not putting him in top tier, but you're like
but we're praising him. We're on him because
you are
praising him.
We're praising him for being average,
bro. You are
over terrible last night.
Nah, he is super analyzing the statistic, the touchdown statistic. That is what you're doing. That's why you're saying this.
What else do you go off of as a quarterback, Chris?
That's all you're saying.
What else do you go off of?
Yards, but the ultimate thing, and Joe is absolutely right. The ultimate thing in the NFL is to win football games.
All right. Okay.
Wait.
All right.
Idea. I'm asking you a serious question right now. Bailey, Zappi, or Tua?
Zappy hour, boy.
Right.
Zappy hour. What are you talking about? What are you talking about right now?
I just wanted to get it on record.
Is Zappy not winning games? By y'all definition, is Zappy not winning games? He's not doing the same thing?
Do not say by your definition. That's Chubb's definition. I like stats and wins. That's why Mahomes is my favorite quarterback.
Thank you. Stats and wins.
So,
anybody can be average with an elite defense. I said that's why Tom Brady won the Super Bowls, right?
Yeah, he was the ultimate game manager. I don't know why Chubb didn't name him.
I was going to, but then you guys would say you can't call the GOAT a game manager. That's what you're going to say.
No, I call him a game manager.
That's why I didn't say his name, because how you can call a GOAT a game manager, basically, right? He's the GOAT.
Again, I'm not saying Tua isn't good. I'm just saying it's too soon to tell. That's always my narrative. It's too soon to tell, bro.
Well, it's not too soon for me to tell you that Brady and Rodgers lost again. So, my question for you guys is this the end of a QB era? Are Brady and Rodgers done?
I'm more so upset that Aaron Rodgers went outside to the Commanders, bro. Not Tom Brady. They went outside to the Commanders, bro. But I do, honestly, I think it's more so an end to Brady's era, more so than Rodgers. I think Rodgers can. If Rodgers stay in the league, he's definitely getting out of Green Bay next year. And I think it's worse for Tom Brady. I think it's worse for Tom Brady because Tom Brady retired and came back as if like he had more to prove, and the fact that he's not producing at the same level anymore just kind of rewriting his. Now I'm not gonna say rewriting his career, but at the same time, now this is what we're focusing on. This is the conversations now. It's more so Tom Brady's downfall, rather than focusing on what he did in New England, what he did in Tampa the first couple years. So I do think it is the end of an era of two great quarterbacks. However, I think Brady's downfall is much worse than Aaron Rodgers. I think Aaron Rodgers still has a chance to revive his career if he switches teams. But I think he's done in Green Bay. That Commanders loss that was sad.
I think he's gonna retire.
Both of them?
I think this might be Aaron's last year. I think after this year he's gonna be sick and tired of dealing with football because it looks like he's not having fun at all. It looks like he's sick and tired right now of it, honestly. And Tom Brady, I hope he retires, but I don't think he's going to. He's already said that he's not retiring after this year. But I don't think Tampa Bay should keep him or anything. But I don't know who would take him because he's not really putting up anything worthwhile, like tape-wise this year to be like, okay, I think this is an improvement. Let's go get him. That the day he is still the GOAT, so somebody might sign him just because of that. So I don't know. I think both of them should retire. I think Aaron Rodgers will because Tom Brady looks terrible. But watch him cook us this Thursday.
I doubt it. Brady needs to go home, pack it up, and go make up with Giselle. It's over for him. And like I said last episode, I'm loving every time. He got outplayed by the XFL MVP. I am so happy at this demise of Tom Brady. It is over. Well, I'm not gonna say it's over yet. I'm still gonna, stay fast because I don't want to jinx it. But I'm trying so hard not to smile, but I can't help it because watching Tom Brady fail miserably gives me joy. I hate him. Every time I don't even watch Brady games unless I literally didn't watch 2 Super Bowls because Brady was in it. Because I was sick of seeing him.
That's hating.
But I'm a proud vice president of the Brady Hate Club. But as far as Aaron Rodgers, I just think he just has no weapons. Receivers not on the right point. But I think one thing, and this is why I asked who you think could change the season around. I do think Aaron Rodgers can change the season around if they get a receiver. And there's hints that it's probably going to be Chase Claypool as being the receiver they're going to land, which I think will work because Brady's excellent at throwing back shoulder fades, so Chase doesn't have to jump up and get the ball. He has to find its way in his hands. And then Chase Claypool did get upset this week, last night after the game, stating that we don't throw any go routes. So he wants some go routes. So I think if he goes to Green Bay, he'll go there and catch some go routes. So I think a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers can make Chase Claypool look all world, and Chase Claypool can help that entire offense out. For Brady, unless Gronk comes back, this shit is over. And I'm hoping Gronk doesn't come back.
I don't even think Gronk would do it. The problem ultimately with Brady is this: he doesn't have an offensive line. Nobody's protecting him. He's getting hit, and he's 50-year-old body out there getting hit. So,
my question to you guys: do you think any of them can turn it around?
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. If there is one person that can turn it around in this circumstance, it would be Aaron Rodgers. He has a better team than Tom does right now. So I would say Aaron.
Yeah. I think it'd be Aaron Rodgers before Tom Brady. I think the BUCS are just so far gone right now. Brady just got too much going on. Just mad AB trolling him. His divorce. I just think he just got too much going on. I think it was kind of a mistake in hindsight, him coming back out of retirement, even though, he really never was retired. But, he got all the weapons. I mean, like you said, he ain't got the offensive line, but still, it ain't really no reason for him to be losing his bet, honestly. That division's ridiculously trash. And it's crazy because they're still at the top of the division, regardless of their record right now, which is wild, but I think the Packers will definitely turn it around before the BUCS do. Or Rodgers will turn it around before Brady does.
Yeah, man, I agree. I mean, I think the BUCS defense will sooner than rather than later start to play elite. I mean, I can see that with the BUCS. The BUCS and Packers, both of their defenses can turn around and play elite. It just depends who's going to show up first. So, all right, man. Next thing we had, so last week we didn't talk about it, but Matt Rule got fired by the Carolina Panthers. And then they made some trades. They traded one, Christian McCaffrey, but everybody else they said they're keeping. So they said they're not trading DJ Moore. They're not trading Brian Burns. So those are the other 2 trade assets. But CMC gets traded to 49ers. First game didn't look too impressive. But Patrick Mahomes did look very impressive versus the leagues. So what are our thoughts on the CMC trade? What do we think it's going to look like moving forward? And then also about Mahomes and the crew basically being up on that number 1 defense.
I think it's good for him. I think he fits well. He's got a way better offensive line blocking for him. And I think he fits their scheme, what they want to do and accomplish. And the good thing about the 49ers is even if you're a top 5 running back or top 10 running back, there's still going to be a little bit of a running back by committee. So you're not going to get all that punishment you were getting all the time in Panthers. So I think we might see a more healthy Christian McCaffrey for the years to come if he ends up, because is this his last year on his contract, or is it one of the last years? If it is, or if it isn't, if they do end up bringing it back, if it is, it is. Like, I think if on this team you'll see a more healthy Christian McCaffrey for years to come. Now, what was the other question you asked? You said
Chiefs and 49ers.
Chiefs and 49ers. That game. Oh, no. I'm going to be honest. I was expecting Christian to get a little bit more bump than he did. I know he just got in this week, but I was expecting him to get a little bit more to see what the look of it was, But somebody made a joke that he already requested a trade because he didn't get any carries. But I don't know. I like it. That's the team. That's the type of team that needs
to the Bills,
and he fits. If it wasn't them, I thought the Bills would have went for him too. But
yeah,
it was good. Bad. I like it. I like it for Christian. Get out of that poverty franchise of the Carolina Panthers.
They did Cam Newton wrong, so
that's what they are.
Be good.
So,
I like the trade as well. I think in the long run, it's definitely going to work out for the 49ers. He obviously he ain't play too much. He was only there for 4 days for their first game. But I think this lessens the load for Deebo Samuel getting as many carries out of the backfield. George Kittle opens up the offense a little bit more, allows George Kittle to get open. George Kittle definitely played way better. I think he had the best game of the season so far. Their offense was just kind of, moving the ball. It was actually a pretty close game. Everything went downhill when that safety happened. And then when that cornerback got beat, that's when the Chiefs kind of like kicked the door open. It was just, had their foot on the pedal for the rest of the game. But I think that Patrick Mahomes definitely took advantage of all of the weapons that he had, playing with what he does. Like I said, I was skeptical about them not having Tyreek Hill. But for some reason, Juju is looking like an all-star or a superstar receiver. You got Mecole Hardman, who Wayne calls trash.
I said he's overrated. I didn't say he's
trash. He had 3 tutties this weekend. I know. I'm exaggerating. But yeah, he had 3 tutties this weekend. McKinnon, he played well. He ran the ball well. So they just got a lot of speed. They got a lot of weapons, and I think Patrick Mahomes is, showing what he can do. And I know we had that question last week: is Patrick Mahomes the best? What was it? The best player in the NFL quarterback? I don't know which one it was, but he's definitely, making a very, very solid case for it. He might actually be in MVP talks, depending on honestly who wins the AFC. I think it's going to be an AFC player this year, whoever wins MVP. Between Allen,
Geno Smith,
maybe Lamar, if they can keep it going, Lamar can get back to what. Nah, Geno Smith. They ain't gonna give it to Geno just because he played for the Seahawks, bro. But nah, the Chiefs.
They're number one in the division right now.
I know, but they're still like 3-3, 4-3, 3-3.
They're number one in the division.
The Bucks are number one in the division. We were just talking about how trash they are. So, yes, they are.
Hey,
exactly.
Number one division makes playoffs in a day.
Yeah, wild card.
Seahawks make it. Damn.
Nah, but the Chiefs, they definitely look a bit like that 2020 Chiefs team. So team to watch.
Hey, if the Chiefs make it to the playoffs this year, I'm gonna give Pete Carroll's flowers. I might take back my overrated claim.
Seahawks.
I mean, they're 4-3 right now.
Yeah,
that
Seahawks.
Division consists of Rams, 49ers, Cardinals. So, so
teams that should be better than them.
That's what I said, Geno, but not Geno. Put your respect on Daniel Jones' name, bro.
Yeah, I picked him up in fantasy.
Put some respect on Zach
Wilson. So, can the Jets continue to win? One thing that did come out this week is Elijah Moore does want out. Obviously, he's not been getting anytime that Zach Wilson plays, Elijah Moore never gets the targets that he was receiving before. So my first question to y'all is Elijah Moore being selfish by requesting a trade, even though his team is winning, he's just not getting the production that he wants.
I'm going to say no. He's not being selfish because people were on another receiver's side that ended up getting traded this offseason about the type of scheme he was in. I don't think the scheme plays up for Elijah Moore. Point blank, period. They had something going with their running game. First of all, if your running game is popping off with Breece Hall and Michael Carter, and that is your bread and butter that's winning you games, I'm sorry. Like, get over it. That's why Baltimore Ravens wide receivers in the past hated being Baltimore Ravens receivers, because they had to block. If the end of the day, the objective is to win the game. In that aspect, he is being selfish. But I don't know. I would be mad if I'm the top pick that year for your team, because he was the top pick. I think they traded, pick, yeah. Right? The first pick, maybe not. He was a second round pick. My bad. He was a second round pick. But he was a highly touted. I mean, I'd be mad. I think he's already salty that he kind of already drafted a guy to replace him.
Yeah. It's just, when you're not getting targets, it's kind of crazy. But I mean, I thought they threw the ball way more last week, so he's complaining. But they threw the ball only 18 times.
So because the running game was working for them, and it sucks that Breece Hall went down.
Smooth, is he being selfish?
I don't think he's being selfish. Then again, maybe he is. When you're winning, you shouldn't, draw attention to yourself. I understand, like, you being a receiver and you being probably one of the better receivers might be a number one target on a couple teams. But you don't make the noise and draw attention to yourself, especially when you're winning. You do what you cater to the team. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't sit up here and be like, oh, I want more targets. Maybe if they was, losing and they, what I'm saying, he could make a strong case. So if y'all got me the ball more, what I'm saying, maybe we'll be winning. But, their run game is strong. Like, we were just talking about last week how Zach Wilson only threw 18 passes all game. They're running. Breece Hall had 20 rushing attempts at 200 yards rushing. So why would you not go with what works?
And you could tell that's how they plan on doing it here on out. I mean, I know we're going to talk about it, but Breece Hall went down, right? And then the running game's been working. And Michael, they just picked up somebody that's just as good and viable for the running game to keep it going. So it's never going to change.
See, I guess so. In a way, like, he probably is being selfish because you have to. We've been talking about it. You have to establish a run game before you can open up the passing game. And later down the line, teams are going to start. Well, they have to now. They're going to have to start opening up the playbook a little bit more.
Yeah,
Breece Hall went down, but
I agree. I think
they will probably start doing that.
I understand you want to get targets. I thought they threw the ball like 30 times and he only got one target. Then I don't understand how he's feeling. But we were winning the game. We just beat the Packers because we ran the ball.
Now that I look at it, it's kind of selfish to be drawing attention to yourself in that aspect.
You threw the ball 18 times and had 10 completions. Bro, you gotta relax. Like, there's gonna be games where that doesn't happen. But I do understand why he don't want to play with Zach Wilson, because whenever Zach Wilson plays, he doesn't get the ball. But when like Joe Flacco or somebody else comes in, they get him the ball. So it's like, am I doing something wrong? Or this quarterback not looking for me? But I do find it funny because Zach Wilson has been reduced to a game manager, and he was the second overall pick, which is kind of crazy. And then, like Chubb said, they did pick up James Robinson, so of course they're going to have to keep running the ball and keep making things work. So, That's pretty much all the topics that we have for this week. We're gonna get into our little clip segments, and I have the first clip. It's called "Pick Your Poison." Yeah. First segment, and this is you just picking between which one of these quarterbacks would you rather have. So pick your poison. Would you rather have Carson Wentz, Baker Mayfield, or Mitchell Trubisky? That's the last call. Pick your poison. Right now. Stop there. Yo, pick your poison. Baker Mayfield, Carson Wentz, Mitchell Trubisky.
All these quarterbacks right now.
Who you going with, Chubb?
I'm gonna go Baker Mayfield. I'm gonna go Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, who are you going with?
That's terrible, bro. Who's my receivers, bro?
Don't matter. Just pick a quarterback.
Bro, this is
I'm a huge guy. I'm taking the guy that has won 2 playoff games in
I don't think
I'm going with Baker.
This is the worst. This is the worst combination of people I've ever in a sentence. I'm gonna have to go Carson Wentz, bro.
I'm going with Mitchell Trubisky, man.
I knew it.
Yeah, that's you.
I knew it.
You said right now, bro. Like you said right now, like as in like this season.
Poison. Nelson Aguilar.
I'm going with the guy that brought that.
Listen, Nelson
You're talking about this season,
right? Zach Pascal.
Because if we're gonna say that, I'm taking the Heisman winner, Baker Mayfield. Off rip, like,
listen, you haven't let me get it out, bro. That's crazy, bro.
Carson Wentz, Mr. Trubisky.
Listen to me, man. Pick your poison receiver edition. We're going Zach Pascal, Nelson Aguilar, Miles Boykin. Which one of these guys are you guys taking? I'm taking. All right. Pick your poison. I'm gonna say the real name. I'm gonna say it. Nelson Aguilar, Zach Pascal, Chase Claypool. Pick your poison.
Taking Zach Pascal. It's not that hard.
Oh my god.
I'm going Chase Claypool. Chase Claypool. Next, pick your poison. Next, yeah, bad. Listen.
I'm gonna pick Chase
Pick
Claypool.
your poison. Bad NFL coach edition.
Chase, because
we're going Adam Gase.
That's the only reason why.
That's not even the only reason.
Josh McDaniel.
That's legit the only reason.
Head coach NFL Nick Saban. Who you guys going with? No, you're picking. You had to set up for one of these coaches. Who you going with? This is the NFL version of Josh McDaniel.
We're picking who is the worst.
All right, I'm going with actually Adam Gase. He's led the team to the playoffs. Had the resurgence of Jay
Adam
Cutler.
Gase or
so I'm doing that.
Josh,
I'm going Josh.
All right, now this next one is picking which running back has been better so far this year.
I'm going Josh too.
We're going with Nick Chubb or Saquon Barkley.
Bullshit.
Listen, man.
Hold on. I can't believe that. Bro, you're telling me you're taking this guy?
To Nick Saban.
You're taking this guy? Hold on. Wait, you're taking this guy?
I'm taking Nick Saban. I was trolling. I'm taking Nick Saban. All right.
Yeah, ain't no way.
Nick Chubb or Saquon Barkley? Who's the better running back this year?
Even he looks astonished that you're taking him. He like, huh? You taking me?
Right? Like, always ask the question, bro. Who's been the better running back? Nah, bro. When we talking running back, I'm talking everything that involves the game: running, passing, catching, blocking.
Saquon.
Go.
Easy.
I think y'all guys are
The better
only
running back or the
based
better
off
offensive
winning
player?
records, and that's what
Better running backs. What he said. Answer. And you're messing up the clip.
Quarterback. Nick Chubb
But you gotta be specific with
Nick
these.
Chubb.
With these. Come on, bro.
And Nick Chubb's a better running back than him.
No, Saquon Barkley, bro.
Saquon Barkley.
Bro, Saquon Barkley had like 18.
No, or not. You said running, passing, and
He's a better receiving back than Nick Chubb.
He's a better run. Yeah, Nick Chubb's a better running back, but he's not a better
That's
offensive
definitely what
player.
he does, man.
Offensive
Well, all
player.
right. That is actually the end of the episode, man. Before we get out of here,
That's why I
Chubb,
asked
you
the
got
question.
anything I want to say to the people?
Yeah, but he got like
All right, man.
receptions and have a
Happy hour is short, and then we're going to take the lead. So appreciate everybody that comes in each and every week that listen to us. Make sure you guys hit that like button and comment button, and make sure you guys subscribe. Until next time, my name is Wayne. Chubb Smoot. We are out of here.
Oh man,
I'm going to
Zappy hour.
See you all.
Oh shit, we're not done.